Go ahead. Make my day.
Long live the king. You killed him.
No. I am your father.
I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog, too. Ah!
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
Fuckers! Hey, it's part 2. Welcome to Shoot the Shit. Nope, that's not it. Movie Corner! Man, could you imagine if we did part 2s of Shoot the Shit? That'd be crazy.
We need a new season of Shoot the Shit, but you're just so used to Shoot the Shit that that's...
Yeah, Shoot the Shit's my normal intro thing that I do. Anywho, welcome to part 2 of Hellraiser. This time we're going back to the 80s. Cocaine. Sex. Rock and roll.
Because none of us
I wasn't born in the 80s. I don't know. I'm a 90s kid. Anywho, this is Hellraiser. 1982, I think. I don't
87.
Obs, take it. Also, it's the same crew from the first video. Obs, Nick, and Esp.
Yes. So yeah, in regards to the original Hellraiser, it was done with Clive Barker. He was the writer and director of that, and as said, this was done in 1987. So back then it was, I guess, it was more practical effects. There was no real CGI or big budget as the current one that was done in 2022. So I would say the effects were kind of limited, as well as the costumes. But it takes place in 87. Basically, at that time, it starts off, I don't know, they're in some foreign country where it seems like this merchant's trying to sell someone this it's the puzzle box, the cube thing, to someone, and it's like, are you sure you want to buy it? Or it's like kind of buy it at your own risk kind of thing. And it basically goes after that. This person's in the 2-story house. He looks like he's doing some type of ritual with the puzzle box, and he activates it only to be horribly torn apart, I guess. And the graphics, the graphics are very cheesy, but it's very close up of flesh getting hooked with these meat hooks and then just tearing, but you can tell it's very I guess fake.
it's rubber skin, basically.
Yeah, so at that time, again, that's probably all they could work with at the time, but this looks pretty cool. And there's the wooden pallet kind of thing swinging around with all chunks of meat, and it seems to be that was the person who was doing the ritual. They're kind of piecing chunks of his face together to, like, oh yeah, that's him. And I guess time moves on a little bit after that, not 6 years, but basically his brother and wife are moving into or buying the house that he was, I guess, squatting in, where he did this ritual. And the husband,
his name was Frank, by the way, the guy that got killed.
Yes. And the husband seems kind of the ditz. He seems kind of, not, let's say, clueless, whatever. He seems happy, but they have I guess a fractured relationship. The wife does not look happy. She looks pretty miserable, and he has a daughter, not through her, but through, I guess, a previous relationship. And I guess the daughter and the mother-in-law don't really get along, but they buy said house. While trying to move in, the father cuts his finger, accidentally spills blood in, like, the attic where Frank, the brother, did the ritual. By spilling his blood there, he inadvertently brought him back from the dead, apparently. And Frank is basically trying to escape the hell or purgatory, whatever it is that the Cenobites trapped him in. And apparently Frank, the brother, had a secret relationship with the wife. And this, I don't know how long it went on, but it seemed a very hot relationship. And she somehow manages to come across his body. He's, at this point, basically just he's put together, but he's just living tissue, I guess, muscles. He has no skin. He convinces the wife, his lover, to basically bring Johns to the house because he needs to kill people or feast on their bodies to regenerate his.
Kind of like the mummy from the Brendan Fraser movie. He needs people. He needs souls to regenerate himself.
Yes.
Or bodies, I should say, not souls.
So she reluctantly does it, and she takes a few Johns, and little by little, after each kill, he's becoming stronger, becoming whole, I guess. And all the while, the husband's completely oblivious, as well as the daughter. But she doesn't live with them. She lives somewhere else because she doesn't want to deal with the wife. And throughout this movie, it's like they really don't show Pinhead or the Cenobites. They're really not much characters until like the very end. But I'm trying to remember. But basically, the daughter kind of figures something's up with the wife because she doesn't want to leave the house. She's kind of become very reclusive, and she stumbles upon Frank, which seems to have had the creepy uncle vibe with the daughter.
Come
like,
to daddy.
Yeah, at one point it's like, "Come to daddy," and it's got all creepy.
But there is some. I just want to add this in real quick. There is some kind of time constraint that it never gets specific, but there is some kind of time constraint because he's like, we gotta hurry. If we don't, the Cenobites will come looking for me. No, they're gonna get me. So there's something like he has to get these bodies, get these souls so he can regenerate within an ambiguous, undetermined amount of time. Otherwise, the Cenobites are gonna get him. But I just wanted to throw that in there.
Yes. And with the daughter coming across them, it kind of cuts into their plans because they're on a time constraint, but this makes it even less. And they're worried because she got away. They're trying to prevent her from escaping, but she does. And she's either gonna run to the cops or tell her dad, and we need to do something. It's like, well, this is gonna up our time frame. At which point, her dad / Frank's brother comes home, and it's like, well, we gotta kill him. We gotta do this. We gotta move on. And the wife, up until this point, was very reluctant. It's like, no, we can't kill him. It's like she never flat out says she loves him, but she was resistant to the idea of Frank killing him. But again, time is short, so she finally gives in and gets the husband killed. During this time, there was an altercation where the daughter was able to find and steal the puzzle cube from Frank, and in the process, while running away, something happened where she passed out. She ended up in the hospital, and it was there where she inadvertently solved the puzzle box. Was again kind of like a Rubik's cube, and here is where they actually see the Cenobites, and they pop up and they're saying, basically, you solve the puzzle, now you have to come with us. Those are the rules. And it's just like, it was an accident, I didn't want us to do this. And she offers a trade. It's like, so-and-so, the person that got this box from, he's alive. He said he escaped you, and if I can trade him for me. And they're like, oh, so-and-so didn't escape. You have to prove it to us. If not, you'll have to pay or whatever. And she's like, fine. So she goes back to the house. In the process there, she sees her dad, tries to confide in him, only to realize that it's Frank and her
dad's skin.
Yes.
Fully regenerated.
Pretty much. And she freaks out, at which point she kind of scratches his face, which peels the skin off a little bit, which ruins the disguise, and the ruse is over. And in that little skirmish, he inadvertently stabs his lover, the brother's wife, stabs her she's pretty much dying. So he's like, fuck it. He basically kind of consumes her because why not? Can't let her go to waste.
She's there, right?
Yeah. So after some back and forth, they end up back into the attic where he inadvertently confesses himself, where he's like, he said his plan. Oh, I escaped, and this is what I did, and now I'm gonna finish you off so I can run away. And that's when the Cenobites come and Pinhead, and he's like, shit, you tricked me. And Pinhead's telling the girl, it's like, I guess you weren't lying, and it's like, you must leave now. We're about to do things that you should not see.
Yeah, but then he's like, you must leave now, and then like she's getting out of there, and then like, no, wait, where are you going? It doesn't make any sense.
Well, I think it was Frank. He tried to like rush her, and he tried to prevent her from leaving the door. But yeah, they didn't wait, or anyways, like yeah, she kind of hesitated, and then at which point they used the meat hooks and basically tore him to pieces again. And so it seems like while this is happening, the house is kind of falling apart. She managed to go have the puzzle box with her, and they were, I guess, not going to hold their end of the bargain. They were going to try and take her, but somehow she's able to, almost like Ghostbuster style, use the puzzle box to like close it separate times to trap each Cenobite that was there and lock them away back into their dimension or realm, wherever the hell they came from.
Yeah, she knew the power of the fucking box somehow.
Yes, and she was able to do that repeatedly. And I didn't mention it, but she had a boyfriend who came looking for her, and they were able to escape the house in the nick of time to avoid their demise. And
this fucking guy's real fucking Boy Scout. Like he seems like one of those milkshake drinking, just like, hi, how are you, Joe College here, type guy.
Milkshake drinking.
I don't know, you know what I mean.
You motherfucker, you look like you drink milkshakes.
I do like milkshakes. As a matter of fact, I had one while we were watching this movie, but you know what I mean,
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anywho.
But yes, so they get away. I guess they end up going to the the beach just to relax and reflect on what the hell just happened. Now that she's not necessarily an orphan, since she's an adult, but her family just got.
You can be an adult orphan.
Yeah.
Batman.
Well, John was a kid, and then.
But he's still an adult orphan. I mean, do you stop being an orphan at a certain age?
I don't think so.
So yeah, Batman's an adult orphan. Anyway.
But
Batman is an adult orphan.
Yes. And throughout the movie, that I did not mention, the daughter, she was being not necessarily stalked, but followed by this very dirty looking homeless man, hobo. And he followed her at her place of work when they were just going for a walk, and he's there on the beach, and there's a campfire going, and she tosses the puzzle box into the campfire. Dude comes up to it, basically walks into the fire to get the puzzle box. He never says anything throughout the entire time, and now he's completely on fire. His skin melts off to a skeleton, where it's like some type of gargoyle thing with wings.
Dragon or something. Yeah, he turns into like some kind of skeleton dragon and just takes the box for some reason.
Yes, and flies away into the moonlight.
And then the movie starts again.
Yeah, it changes to the opening scene that we saw in the beginning, with somebody else purchasing the puzzle box. I kind of figured it because it's like I don't know, it's some Asian guy who's sitting in a little town. I don't know. It looks like it could be. I have no idea where. Something like Morocco or something. But he's selling the puzzle box. So my theory is that the dragon is that Asian guy, or that's the form he takes to sell it to different people to, I don't know, appease the Cenobites or something.
What was the 80s? They were much more racist back then.
Yes. But yeah,
that could have been a stereotype. So maybe.
But yeah, that's more or less the original Hellraiser in a very condensed nutshell.
Much more condensed than part one.
Hey, I already told you all that I get long.
Hey, dude, we recorded part one 3 days ago.
What
Don't
the
worry about it.
No, we didn't. Shut up.
They don't know that. It could have been whenever. It's movie magic.
Well, I'm setting the record straight here.
Today's 2023. We win the future, folks.
We win the future?
We win the future. Good for us.
Anyway, so yeah, that's about the synopsis of the first one, or the original, as you can plainly see or hear, I guess. These two movies have very little, if anything, to do with each other.
The biggest things they relate to is sacrifices must be made. One, to bring someone back from hell, basically. The other is to appease the Xenobites. To grant wishes. To grant wishes for the second movie, or the remake.
Yeah, I guess the second one is about, you know, the girl trying to get her brother back, whereas the original is about this escaped convict, so to speak, from the Cenobite hell, and they want him back. Yeah. Nobody escapes the Cenobites.
I am interested to watch other ones in the series to see if when maybe the remake takes stuff from other movies and not the first one. But I don't know. I enjoyed watching the first one. It was just that 80s gore, and you know, it kind of gave me like Evil Dead vibes with like the skin getting peeled off and everything, and just like a look of all the blood, and how the blood didn't look like blood but looked like ketchup being dropped on the floor.
Yeah. Well, one cool thing that I told Obs was, and I've actually never really seen this, but I mean, I guess it might be kind of niche, but for anybody who is a Hellraiser fan, which I'm sure there is a loyal following out there.
There must be 7.
They got to be out there. I think it wouldn't be difficult at all to make that thing that Obs was talking about, that spinning plywood structure in the beginning. It's basically this random fucking plywood thing that's spinning around in the room, and it has blood, guts, and body parts all over it. I mean, that wouldn't be difficult to construct as like a Halloween decoration to put on your front yard. You could get like some kind of turntable device. I mean, they have those things that spin like Christmas trees around. You take one of those, just put like a plywood kind of structure on top of it, and then just get rubber body parts and spray paint some blood and wrap it in barbed wire, because there's like barbed wire on it, and you got yourself that fucking thing, and you could put it in your yard. And if you want to do a whole Hellraiser theme, you could put like chains and barbed wire hanging from everywhere with body parts all over the place. I think that would actually make a pretty cool Halloween setup. Maybe next year we'll do that or something. But well, I guess at this point, just to kind of compare the two, yeah, they don't really have anything really to do with each other. They both are decent films in their own right, but I will be honest as well, I preferred the remake. I liked the remake, but I think that the original has better makeup. Both, as Obs mentioned in our last video, they do use practical effects. Like, there's not like a whole lot of CGI, especially not on like the the characters and their makeup and stuff. But even though it's a newer movie, I think the original just did a better job of the makeup. I think it looked more realistic, more gruesome, which obviously is what they were trying to achieve. But that might just be because the art of practical effects is not as dominant as it used to be. So maybe there aren't as many artists out there that can do the makeup, like the kind that you'd see in Hellraiser or The Thing and stuff like that. And it's like, maybe that's an art that is getting lost. But I think it was a lot better in the original than it was in the new one. Definitely liked both movies, but yeah, the new one just I think had better character arcs and a bit more of a compelling story than the original. But the original obviously has its place in history. What do you all think, like, comparison wise?
I think the original was way more graphic, because I think the remake, it had its kind of blood and guts here and there, but the I would say the original didn't hold back. Where there was a few, I guess, would sound like deaths that they kind of panned the camera away. You just kind of see the chains coming, and you hear someone screaming in pain, and maybe what sounds like their imminent death, but they don't show them all the time. Like when the brother died, when the guy who saw the first puzzle at the beginning, he died, they didn't really show what happened to them. But I think the original one was, again, being in the 80s, they didn't give a shit, and it just kind of showed it all.
Right.
So I think the remake, despite better graphics, better effects, they kind of held their punches back. But it was good. I like how they incorporate the Cenobites more in the remake, because the original they were really not part of the movie. I guess in pivotal scenes they showed up, but they just weren't there. It's like a Halloween or like a Michael Myers or Jason Freddy Krueger movie, and they're only in it for like 5 minutes, and that's it.
They weren't very prominent. To Nick's point, I wonder if as the original films progressed, I wonder if they became more of a focal point. I had only ever seen the original, and to this day that remains true. I haven't seen any of the other ones, but I think they're all on. They're around either on Peacock or Prime Video or something. Might be able to look for them and maybe watch them. But yeah, maybe as the series went on, the other ones became more focused on the Cenobites and Pinhead himself. And curious to see if there will be another Hulu made Hellraiser. Because if it does well, anything that does well can't go without a sequel.
Yes, and I think that's what happened with the original Hellraiser. It just got so franchised out as like, I don't know how many, like 10 movies or something. I'm not sure if it's 10, but there's a lot of Hellraiser. I think it's just at some point just lost its way, or just whatever. It just kept making them just to make them.
Hellraiser in space.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there is one that he goes to space or something. I think you had said like every horror icon, or at least several of them, Hellraiser, Leprechaun, Jason, have all ventured out into space with the exception of Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, Michael Myers.
Yeah. Well, why don't we do 2 settled meters where we just give an individual rating to each one of them here, starting with the remake. And as usual, busting out the settled meter here, what we'll do is we'll each give our rating on a scale of 1 to 5, and then average.
Can I bring out the hard meter?
No, there is no such thing.
But no, it is. It's from General Johnson. Everyone remembers a hard meter.
No, you made that, but it's not a thing. It's not incorporated into Odds and Ends Gaming or
It's incorporated in the movie corner, which is
you can incorporate it into these.
Whoa! Easy there. All right, go ahead with your ratings.
Anyway, as you can see, we got the settled meter here. And speaking first of the original, not the I'm sorry, the remake, since that's the one we talked about first. The remake for Hellraiser, I'll give it a 2.5. I thought it was enjoyable, but nothing that stands out. So nothing worth more than an average, a very down the middle of the road average score. So who's next?
I would give the remake a 5.
Really? A straight solid 5. That's a first here on Odds and Ends Gaming.
Wait,
scale of 1 to 5. 1 to 5.
Oh, yeah, 1 to 5. No, I take it back. I give it a 2.5.
Oh, we almost had
I think we're going up to 10. That's why.
Yeah, no. It's the settle meter is out of 5. Settled to unsettled. Settled being shit, and unsettled being awesome as fuck. But yes, so 2.5. And Nick?
I'm gonna have to say it's a solid, like, for the first one.
Yes,
the very first one.
No, the remake.
The remake.
Oh, the remake. Remake's like a 4, 5.
4.5.
Yeah, and the original, I'm gonna give it like a 6, just because of
wait, the
structure
original
built. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
No, it's only from 1 or 0 to 5.
I'm gonna give it a nice chub
So you're giving
on the hard meter.
You're giving the remake a 4.5.
A 4.5, a half chub.
All right, so that comes out to like a 3.15 or something.
That's not bad. 3.15, Jesus.
Yeah, something. I don't know. It's 3.15. It's as the average for the three of us. So that's for the remake of Hellraiser, the 2022 Hellraiser remake. We give it a 3.15 on the settled meter. Moving on to the original. We're wiping the slate clean off the settled meter here. And the original Hellraiser, I'm actually going to give that one a 1.5. Because, I mean, I can understand why it was, just the practical effects and everything. I can understand why it has such a following and why it's considered one of the classics of horror. But I found the pacing to be kind of slow. I found it boring, to be honest with you. I didn't really think there was much of a story. And yeah, I didn't enjoy it as much as I enjoyed the remake. So for me, my opinion on it, 1.5 is what I'm giving it. Ops?
I will give it a 1.
A 1. All right. And Nick, what is your thoughts on the original? What is your score on the original?
All right, on the original, again, like I said, how it started the whole franchise of Hellraisers, and there's a lot of them out there. I had no fucking idea. I'm gonna give it a solid. It's gonna get a solid 5.
Really?
And that's gonna get 5
out of 5.
Little bigger chub, thicker chub, because this one had boobage.
So you're giving a 5 out of 5.
That's a hard meter. No, that's a hard meter rating. On the settled meter, it's like a 3.
God, stop confusing the meters.
It's a 3.
A 3.
Yeah.
All right. So with my rating and Oz' rating and your rating, that brings the score of this one to a 1.15, 1.15. So obviously we as a whole, as a conglomerate here, or not a conglomerate, a group, we definitely like the remake better. But solid films, regardless. Obviously, the original launched the entire franchise, but the remake is definitely worth a watch if you are into horror, and especially that Clive Barker body horror type stuff. But yeah, so this concludes our 2-part Hellraiser movie corner, and this is being filmed before Halloween, but not too long before Halloween, so it is my goal to have this out by Halloween. If it is not, I'm sorry, because I'm the one that's in charge of video editing, but I will make every effort to make sure that you get this and our movie night on Halloween, which for our movie night, if it's out by the proper time, is Manos, the Hands of Fate, so that should already be out on the channel as well. But anyway,
I forgot about that.
Yes, that's coming out on Halloween. So
if this is after, sorry, dear viewer. And if this is before, check it out. Find out why I'm sorry.
Yes. But yeah, it'd be a good finale for our Oddities and Entrails. But anyway, I think I will, unless you really want to, Nick, I'll see us out for this.
I'll take us out of here. I brought us in this world. I'll take us out.
Damn, I didn't know you were my daddy.
Oh, well, so,
Come to
Jesus. Yeah, call me daddy. Oh, my God. All right, well, hey, I hope you enjoyed this 2-parter. The epic conclusion was now. Do you feel satisfied? Did we take you to the limits of sensation? Let us know in the comments down below.
The delightful
It's
pain.
been... okay, enough. If you guys can't see it, but S was actually done up in a whole leather garb that we ignored this whole time.
Rubbing both nipples.
He looks like Pinhead.
With fish hooks in them.
Yes, exactly. It's rather disturbing. Anyway, it's been a movie corner with me, Nicholas Zombie, joined today by Obsolete 2003.
I like it spooky.
And Espionage GP7.
The one, the only.
I thought you can do more. All right. Well, thank you. Hope you have a great Halloween or a spooky season. If it's November 1st, hey, it still counts. Dia de los Muertos. What up? And have a good one.
Yep. Settle down. Bye.